Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's Maple from the GankinZone team here today, and right now I just want to talk about Chapter 5 and really just give an overview of all my thoughts on Chapter 5, just look back at all the changes that have been made, and whether or not this was a good direction for Fortnite to move into, and what we're really looking for in Chapter 6. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I've been getting really burnt out playing this game as of lately, and I can't blame that entirely on the chapter of the season that we're in right now, but I do feel like a lot of it really is down to that. And I think a big part of the reason for why that is because Fortnite at this point just doesn't really feel like Fortnite anymore. And I mean, obviously to some extent it still does. I mean, you know, to a degree it still looks like Fortnite. Obviously the Battle Royale and everything, you know, it still is Fortnite, but there's so much different that just don't make it feel quite the same that honestly, I don't know. I feel like my reasons for playing have been getting less and less over time. And some of the reasons for this are, I'll just start right off. Number one, the removal of hit scan weapons. I mean, honestly, the projectile base, bullet drop stuff, it's not completely terrible. But what it is that it doesn't feel like Fortnite. And we've had hit scan weapons since the inception of this game. And, you know, the skill and precision, you still need that. But it just felt a little more in line with what Fortnite was trying to be, a sort of a cartoony kind of shooter game. That just felt right, and the guns felt right because they were cartoony guns that had hit scan, and it felt so much better in my opinion. Also, medallions, you know, I've never been a fan of them ever since they dropped. I mean, I've played around with them, I've got the medallions sometimes, but all they really generally do is just cause you problems because they reveal where you are on the map, and then you get hunted down by a bunch of people. Pretty much your odds of losing go through the roof, even if you have one of the really OP medallions. So it's not like you can really capture any of that balance back. On top of that, they keep adding weapons that knock the balance out of this game completely. For instance, the jetpack where you can just zoom around and, you know, fly above people, go around really fast, and honestly, it's so, especially with the removal of hit scan, trying to hit somebody that's just flying all around crazy with the jetpack is just insane, and it just completely removes the balance of the game. Also, something like the chainsaw, I know a lot of people are having fun with that, but it is like really like OP just for what it is, being a chainsaw. And I don't know, I don't feel like they're prioritizing gunplay. I don't feel like they're prioritizing making sure that the game is balanced in any kind of way. And then to top it all off, we have the graphical changes, which I'm not extremely happy with. Fortnite has always historically had this cartoony look that had very vibrant colors, a very distinct art style, and for Chapter 5, for whatever reason, they have pretty much done away with that, and they have adopted a new sort of style that I don't like as much. And it looks like they're trying to take this game in a more modern, realistic way, but I don't feel like that is Fortnite, right? That's not why I come on and play Fortnite. There's very good, clear, particular reasons why I get on and play. The final thing that I'll mention is the removal of the Rarity system, which is just ridiculous, and honestly I feel like it has to be a way for them to just sell more things in the item shop. Make things look more valuable than they really are, or whatever, because honestly it makes for one, it just makes the locker look ugly without the rarities, but it also just makes things more confusing, and also just, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense why they would remove something that has been an integral part of the game and has also helped people make decisions on, you know, buying certain things, and now that they've just completely removed the rarity system entirely, I don't know. It was a bad move. Nobody enjoys that one, from what I can tell, like literally nobody. And I hope that they bring that back for Chapter 6. And honestly, for Chapter 6, I just hope that they undo everything that I've talked about right now as something that I don't like about Chapter 5. Because honestly, Chapter 5, it's just, you know, they tried new things, and I can commend them for trying, but I think that they need to put a lot aside and just realize why people are playing this game in the first place, and why OG Fortnite was so insanely popular. It was not just because, oh my gosh, like it's the nostalgia, like, no, it's because OG Fortnite was just legitimately better. It was a legitimately better version of Fortnite. Even Chapter 4, which I'll, you know, go on a limb and I'll say that was even better than Chapter 2 in its entirety, even though I'm really looking forward to the release of Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Chapter 2 through November. Honestly, I think that even Chapter 4 really nailed a lot of the points of what I'm saying. I mean, we didn't have all these crazy issues in Chapter 4 even. You know, why did there have to be such a dramatic change? And why did we have to go from arguably one of the best seasons of Fortnite, which is the OG, returning, to completely changing the game? I mean, you got so many people back into the game, and then you lost them because you pummeled them with Chapter 5 immediately after. You didn't give them something that they actually wanted to go to after OG. Most of the people who came on OG, it seems like they've left, and they're not going to come back until there is some kind of major change in this game, if they come back at all. In Chapter 6, I just want them to go back to the original art style, and not, again, I'm not against change. Like, I don't think that trying new things is bad, but I also do believe that there is a reason why this game got so popular, and I think that we need to look back to the early seasons, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, stuff like that, to really get an idea for what made this game popular, what made this game a hit, and we need to stop trying to do all these different things that are just going to drive people away, like the metaverse. I mean, Lego Fortnite is cool, but again, it's not their main mode. Their main mode is always going to be Battle Royale, because to everybody that is Fortnite. Fortnite is not the metaverse. The metaverse is what could potentially kill Fortnite, in my opinion. Now, what's funny is I do say all of this, but also Chapter 5 did have one of my top 3 seasons in all of Fortnite ever, and that is Chapter 5 Season 3. Honestly, I really love the car meta, and I know that a lot of people didn't. It's very controversial, in my opinion, on that, and a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were just, angry, especially in the pro scene, stuff like that. I think it's fair to say that they should have kept certain things, certain items out of ranked, and then kept them in casual. That would be fair to say. But otherwise, honestly, I mean, I have to disagree with the majority opinion here. I think that Season 3 was so incredible. I think the cars were insanely well done. I've been basically desperate for car attachments to come back in Fortnite, and they finally brought it back. I thought it was super just fast-paced, and the action was always, alive. It felt right. I loved it. And again, I get that a lot of people didn't like it, but that's where I really take a turn from the community and say that, no, they really nailed it here. But then the community gave them a lot of backlash, and they ended up making a lot of nerfs and changes to things that made it not as good. It was still always good throughout the entire season, but I really feel like, I don't know, the community did have a little bit of a freak out over it, and I'm not saying that it's not entirely unjustified. It was controversial. It was a controversial season for certain good reasons, but, that is something to note. It was one of my favorite seasons, and the way that the community on the whole kind of reacted to it was disappointing, and that's just kind of something that always happens with Fortnite, and I think is also another reason why we don't get a lot of genuinely good fixes to things, because a lot of people in the community legitimately are demanding otherwise. Aside from all that, though, I am extremely excited for the release of Chapter 2 Remix, which it's not going to be called OG, but it is going to be such a refresher. I mean, honestly, I really hope that Epic has learned from the first OG. Obviously, they started work on Chapter 5 before OG, the first one, even came out. Hopefully, they've had some time to listen to community feedback, and they're able to make some significant, serious changes to Chapter 6, and hopefully, maybe they'll learn a little more again in Chapter 2, because even though it's not OG, honestly, it is way closer to anything, we've had in recent times, and there's still a lot to like about Chapter 2. And if they are realizing that, hey, people want to go back to these older seasons, they need to realize, again, it's not just nostalgia, it's about actually just the gameplay. I love Fortnite. I pretty much probably always will love Fortnite. One of the best things about this game, in my opinion, is the fact that it's always changing, it's always evolving, it's always, it's never going to be anything the same. And that's what I like. Keeps it fresh. If we were just playing on one season forever, it would get lame. It would get boring. If we were just playing on one season for 6 months, right, I feel like it would get lame, it would get boring, especially when we have to go through a bad season. And, maybe they could improve that in another way as well. Maybe they could do some kind of bi-weekly update where there's not obviously every 2 weeks a new season or anything, but there would be some kind of new loot added to the game or something like that. And let's not forget, guys, like that's something that they used to do back in the day. They used to have these kinds of rapid updates that would keep the game even more alive than it is today. But of course, the community is also not 100%, friendly, and whenever Epic does try to do new things, they a lot of times, they get hate for it, and sometimes when they go back to other things, they get hate for it, and sometimes the community wants things that honestly I just don't want. And so that is fair to say. But these have been all my thoughts. Again, I have hopes for Chapter 6. I really think that while I don't know anything about what Chapter 6 is going to be like, I have heard rumors that it could be like a Chapter 3 remix type of deal, which I'm down for, by the way. But I just hope that they make a lot of changes, they listen to the community, they bring some classic Fortnite stuff back, and then add in whatever new it is alongside that. And I think we could have a really solidly good chapter, especially if they can do it pretty good right after Chapter 2. I think everything will fall in line in the favor of Fortnite, but we really will see. I don't know that until it all happens. So anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. I just put this video together, just really want to talk about my thoughts and share my feelings on this. So thank you for tuning in, and until next time, peace out.